Thing is up, kick the tires, lighting the fires, and we're going. Yeah. Right on time. As always. We just make that fashionable late entrance, except we just don't have the warm-up band is the problem.
Exactly. We need
the crowd, the hype person, yeah, come out there and
a comedian that comes out.
Are you ready? Roll some dice. Perhaps a mild chuckle or two.
Brain fluids.
Well,
A sensible chuckle.
That's a sensible chuckle. Not too much now. Hello, everybody. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live-streamed Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. I am joined, as always, by my wonderful friends. Chris, playing Valravn, the Eladrin Bard of Eloquence.
Hello.
Heather, joining us soon, playing Frey, the Halfling Barbarian of the Beast/Fighter. Rochelle, not joining us soon, playing Celeste, the Half-Orc Sun Soul Monk. Raymond, playing Edmund, the Human Alchemist Artificer.
Hello.
And Reese, playing Thimbleweed, the Gnome Swarmkeeper Ranger.
Indeed.
And my oldest, Callie, co-piloting.
I love summer.
She loves summer. Those Piggy and Gerald books. We stream our sessions live on YouTube every Friday. Watch all of our D&D sessions here on YouTube. Read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com. Watch my behind-the-scenes No Players Allowed live series, Crafting Icewind Dale, every Monday and Thursday. Head on over to our live post-session discussion, Frostside Chat, after our show tonight. You can also listen to all of these live D&D shows. The Rogue Watson Podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson and join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson. Patrons get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, participate in monthly DM roundtables, and monthly patron D&D games like the epic one we just had last night. Shout out to new patrons this week, Brian and William. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net for video chat. We use Discord for streaming. I use Open Broadcaster software with Streamlabs. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. I am remarkably awake. I have had lots of coffee. I had a nap earlier, which was nice. Previously on Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. The Marshals parked their alien spaceship outside Wormdoom Crag, home of Kapunuk's Goliath tribe. Inside, the party befriended some odd nature spirits called Chwingas, reunited with Kapunuk, and had an audience with Chief Ogilai, who instantly recognized Frey's runic axe as belonging to her son Mokingo. Frey explained where and how she had found the axe, and the chief accepted the response, but not everyone was satisfied. Another Goliath rose to challenge Frey, but it wasn't a battle challenge, but a wrestling match. With buffs from Valravn and a potion of Frost Giant strength, Frey easily beat the challenger. Chief was impressed enough that she invited them to take part in a Goliath rite of passage, a literal passing through a rune-covered tunnel that manifests their fears and insecurities. Frey and Valravn accepted, and with some clutch bardic inspiration, both made it through the other side, becoming honorary members of the tribe. Chief Ogilai admitted that they could help send aid to 10 towns after the events of the Shardland Dragon, as well as enhancing the runic axe, but they would first need help of their own. A decades-old feud with their neighboring Goliath tribe was hamstringing both clans. Kapunuk suggested diplomacy, though Chief Ogilai isn't so sure that the rival chief will listen to reason, and warned that they would be far less welcoming. So we left off with you all still in the Goliath camp, clan, home.
Yes.
And they had basically told you, which I added this as a quest. It's actually been a while since we've had official quests.
Yeah.
It's been just following around doing things. Which that is basically quests.
What is quest if not doing things?
If not doing things. You learn the two largest Goliath clans in Icewind Dale, the Thun Lakalaga of Wormdoom Crag and the Akhenathi of Skytower Shelter, are feuding with one another over an incident that happened decades ago. Chieftain of Wormdoom Crag is willing to provide aid to the people of 10 towns, and their weaponsmith is able to further enchant Frey's runic axe if you can help stop this feud. Chieftain believes that the leader of the Akhenathi, Chief Arn, will never bow to diplomacy and that he must be put down. Your friend Kapunuk, however, believes diplomacy still has a chance and has asked you to travel to Skytower Shelter and speak with him. Meanwhile, we still have one little Chwinga riding on Frey's top of her shoulders. One of them constantly clinging to the front of Araman's shirt and combing his beard, and it's getting real grody. Just picking up pine cones and kind of you probably have like bits of sticks and stuff, twigs in there. And one of them is constantly like messing with and looking at Edmund's metal arm, trying to like see themselves in it and kind of whistle at it every time it maybe makes a sound or something.
We've been told by the folks that these are like good things to have, right? Or I guess we're told two things. We're told they give give gifts, and that they're just a nuisance.
Yeah, Edmund, with an Arcana check, I believe, was able to kind of
knew it.
He kind of knew that, yeah, or read about it, whatever you want to call it. But he realized that these are good things can happen if you kind of appease them. The Goliaths had a different opinion. They just thought they were almost like pests, not like horrible pests, but just kind of a general nuisance they'd mostly ignore.
Mm-hmm.
Which, judging by what they've done to you, you don't see the Goliaths putting up much with the little eccentricities they've been doing.
Right. Just be annoying. All right. Well, do we have anything else we want to do here in the crag before we're off?
You're in the crag.
We're in the crag.
So let's say we kill this chieftain. What will happen to their people?
Are you asking this of Kapunuk, of Ogalai, or of your own party?
I'm asking the
chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
She says it would probably not go well for you. You would probably not be very welcome amongst that Goliath clan, I can imagine. But hopefully someone more willing to talk would be willing to step forward and make amends with us if that were the case.
So you don't want us to tell them it was your idea?
If you could be an outside party and work on that. And the whole time Kapunuk is just like, no, this is bad.
What? Why? Why does he think it's bad?
Because he doesn't want to kill or attack the other clan. He thinks, perhaps naively, you're not sure, but that diplomacy can still win out.
These are just hypothetical questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over and tell him, relax. He's just exploring our options.
I mean, if we killed him, I was gonna put the blame on you. That's okay, right?
She sighs and says, well, if we would go to all-out war, that would decimate both clans and would not be in our best interest, so I'm afraid that probably would not help matters if they knew we sent assassins in to kill their leader. That would be the tipping point they would need.
What is what you want us to do, though, as I understand your request.
She says, I requested you to go deal with it. I just don't think that... I fear it may come to violence.
So why don't you just give in and take the blame, and then the feud would
She
stop?
slams the end of her axe down on the ground and says, no! There will be no surrendering of blame for us. Our honor demands that they must surrender to us. And now you can see that that she just talked about, the stubbornness that she was complaining about, is echoing right out of her mouth.
Hypothetically, what if we were sent by them to kill you?
Says, well, you can certainly try.
I mean, hypothetically, we haven't talked to them yet.
Nothing's been arranged
right.
formally.
It seems like if either one of you died, the feud would stop.
That may be the case, or it may escalate. We're not sure. This feud has been going on for some time now.
Hornet, come over here.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to be the new leader, the new chief?
He sighs.
You seem like you have great ideas.
You can see this is why I prefer going out and adventuring like you all and not politics like this.
But the greatest politicians are the ones who don't want to be the politician.
Damn it, that's true. The reluctant leader.
Yes. I think I see a plan formulating.
Says,
Wait,
if
we're gonna assassinate both leaders? Is that what
he says, if you want, I can accompany you to Skytower Shelter, but I don't know if my presence would help or make things worse. Being of the Wormdoom Crag clan.
Come with us. I have a plan.
I have seen your plans, and
Yeah.
they worked quite well up until they don't.
Exactly.
Would you mind letting the rest of us in on your plan, Sir Edmund?
On our way there. On our way.
Okay, all right.
It's more dramatic that way.
I just recommend Kapunik comes with us. If anyone's in disagreement, then that is all right. But
What does it matter what his plan is? It doesn't affect us either way.
exactly.
He says, yes, I can come. I am not afraid to fight or die. You all know that.
Fight or die.
But I would rather not kill my fellow people, even if they are not my kinsmen.
Ooh, Mr. Moral.
You would not fit in here at all.
Come along. Let's just go over to the Skytower Shelter. How far is it? Doesn't matter. We have a spaceship.
A what?
20 feet. 30 feet.
That's right. What could it be?
25 feet. My bedroom is 25 feet away.
Wait, you're saying this is over 30 feet?
That's going to take me more than 6 seconds. I'm not dashing.
One quick question for the chiefess. Is it
Sure.
a female?
Yes, she is.
How
She responds to chieftain or Ogilai.
Okay. How has the eternal darkness that we find ourselves in affected your tribe? Is it a boon to your existence or somewhat harmful?
Says it is a blight upon this land. We know not the cause or the solution, but
We've met a few people who like it. I mean,
A few people.
vampires mostly. It says it's been very harsh. The game and food are far fewer. Herds are thinning, and it's crops. The few ones that grow up here are not growing. It's been a slow, agonizing decline.
oh, so generally negative then. You'd
Generally negative. But we are a hardy folk, and that is the way up here at the spine of the world, and we have gone through harsh winters before. This may be the harshest we have experienced, but we are not like the soft folk of 10 towns. We are a hardy people that will weather this storm.
Oh, you will, yes.
You sense she's confident, but there's definitely like a anxious twinge to her voice when she speaks about, especially the future.
Okay.
They mentioned that Skytower Shelter is only it's less than 8 miles away, but the problem is it's a lot of mountain, and it can be a rough area.
As Edmund said, we have a spaceship. We can't land directly on. They said that this other Goliath tribe, they're inside the mountain. Is that what they said? Or is that this place that's inside the mountain?
They're set up kind of similar to this one, where they have an encampment in a mountain.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to do a similar thing, or we just sort of land, half mile or something away from the entrance.
Does our spaceship not have like rocket flares, and we can just come in on like strings of Metallica or something?
Just paratroop down.
Yeah, just come flying out of the bottom of the spaceship.
I'm sure that
in the
would
middle
go
of
over
there.
well.
We are
Greetings,
your leader.
people of Earth. I mean, Faerun.
Hello, Toro.
We bring you love.
And Genocider.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll do a couple passes where we're just dropping genocider pamphlets and samples. Might hurt some people. Dropping cans from
Might
spaceship.
hurt some people.
Isn't that every old alien show went? Greetings, people of Earth.
That's right. We're going to be the aliens.
It's time. We're the aliens. But yeah, Kapunut can accompany you all. He's going to be in for a rather big shock when he discovers your mode of transportation, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Last time.
I don't know. He's been around us through some weird stuff, I think. I don't know how.
He's all a Chardalyn dragon. I don't know how much.
He did see a Chardalyn dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably
He's
more
some weird things.
More acclimated than most. But still. Otherwise, if you guys are prepared to leave, we can leave Wormdoom Crag.
Yeah. I think we're ready to go.
Okay. Chief Ogilai wishes you all the best and says, whatever your plan is, do return and let me know as soon as you can where we have gone from there.
Of course, dear chieftain. We will endeavor.
Perhaps by the time we return, your people will learn to fight.
Kapunut glowers at that and says, we can fight plenty strong.
Had rest for shit.
But you are something else entirely. And you do see a couple of the Goliaths kind of shift their stances uneasily as they look at you, Frame. As you all leave and pass through the skeleton, the dragon bones again, the Chwingas all seem to give off kind of a hooting, whistling sound, and they hop down, the three of you that have them, and they hop down, and each one turns to you and kind of reaches almost inside of itself and pulls out a little glowing
Meeple?
Essence or something and hands it to each of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's have... see, I believe Valrobin was the first one to befriend a Chwinga. So Valrobin, let's have you roll a 1d6 to see what the Chwinga has given you.
1d6. What you got, Mr. Chwinga?
1,
On a
2,
4.
3, 4. Okay. You are bestowed with a
Even bigger ego.
something that, well, you're still gonna like this, I guess. A charm of the ice troll. This charm allows you to use your reaction when you take cold damage to reduce the damage to 0. You regain a number of hit points equal to half the cold damage you would have taken. Once you do so, the charm vanishes from you.
Oh, yeah, that'll come in handy.
I don't have to worry about hitting with my arrow.
That's right. It'll be fine. It'll heal me a little bit.
Frey, you were the second one to befriend a Chwinga. Give me a 1d6, please.
If I get a 4, can I re-roll it?
Yes. That was the idea I was going to have.
3.
3. All right. I'm glad somebody got this one. You got a Charm of Snowball Strike. This charm has 5 charges. As bonus action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to create a magical snowball in your hand and throw it. The snowball is a magic ranged weapon with which you are proficient. It has a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. It deals 1d4 cold damage on a hit and scores a critical on a roll of 19 or 20. If you score a crit with the snowball, the target is blinded at the end of its next turn. Snowball vanishes whether you hit or miss, and once all charges have been expended, the charm vanishes from you. You can make magic snowballs.
Nice.
5 of them at least.
That's just what Frey needs.
And Edmund, you're the final one to befriend a Chwinga. Give me a 1d6 to see what it has bestowed upon you. A 6. You gain a Charm of the Traveler's Haven. This charm has 3 charges. As an action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to cast the Leoman's Tiny Hut spell. No components required.
Question on that one.
Yep.
I remember this being a thing the last time. Does it still take the full casting time? I think the casting time is like 10 minutes or something.
Yes. Yeah, it just says it allows you to cast Leoman's Tiny Hut spell.
Okay.
No components required, but we'd still have to go through the motion of casting it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't fucking plop that shit up in the middle of combat.
It's exactly
Insta-turret! Haha!
We get around that? No,
Instant magic force field fortress.
That's right.
What? And then the Chwingos all wave nicely, and then they kind of walk in towards the bone pile and kind of disappear.
I pat mine on the head when it leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, fair fey creatures.
And Edmund, I believe,
pulls out a comb and immediately starts combing.
Yeah, it's real filthy. It's real filthy. Yeah, you all realize you've been robbed. Also, just you've got nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Dangle our property in front of them and laugh and run away.
That's right. They've stolen everything. I believe, Edmund, you still have a saber-toothed tiger that you summoned before you came here. So, when you guys approach the spaceship, Kapunik has a very much what the fuck moment. And yes, he has seen some shit, but even he is like, what did you find? This is...
they are travelers from the stars that do terrible experiments on us mortals.
Beast.
And
you slayed this creature? And now ride inside of its innards?
Sure, that sounds fair.
Give or take.
Yes.
That is awesome.
It's the creature that drives it is one of its native inhabitants, but do not trust that one. He is
rather... you brought me? Why did you bring all the tall ones? I don't know how good the brains are on those. What is that?
I said don't trust the little one. He's rather malicious in his own little innocent sort of way. He'll try to eat your brains if you let him.
I like my brains just where they are.
Yes, quite so.
Thank goodness you're back. It was getting cold.
Yes. We're back. We have a new destination, my boy.
He makes a gurgling sound that you imagine some kind of sigh. Kapuna kind of leans down and says, I have never traveled there by this means before. I have to excuse if I've never seen the world from up here.
Have you ever flown at all?
I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid.
I need fan art of Edmund and Kapunuk on the Nautiloid now, please. Maybe a little Titanic pose.
That's right.
No. He says no, and then he says the skies are the domain of the Akhenathi. They are griffin riders, griffin tamers. Raise them. It's their whole thing.
Oh, but you've never been up on one.
No. My people prefer the ground.
This will be a somewhat novel experience for you.
Yep. And because it's mountains, it's going to be bumpy as hell.
What? Why would it be bumpy? We're in the air. Just air pressure?
That was the joke I was making, yeah. When you're in an airplane, you're going over mountains, yeah. I don't know how the spaceship works. It's a bumpy ride! Hold on to your tentacles! Alright. You all bound aboard the Id Ascendant and can travel southward. Now, here's the question. How close do you want to try to get? And he mentions the fact that the Skytower Shelter is not a joke that the Wormdoom Crag people like to be on the ground and the others like to be in the air. He says that theirs is like on the top of a mountain peak over 10,000 feet up. This would have been an arduous journey. This is gonna be much more convenient, I imagine. But
certainly.
I have seen some things, and I am still shocked by this creature. Other Goliaths have not seen as much and would be much more shocked. You understand? If they see this thing.
So you use it to a tactical advantage.
Yeah, shocked as in intimidated, or shocked as in hostile?
When I saw this, I thought it was some great beast. My people do not shy away from great beasts.
Akana, boys.
It might make diplomacy challenging. I don't know what your plan was.
I mean, either way.
We have a plan?
Here's the plan. We go to the Akanathi, the Skytower Shelter, and, come peacefully and make friends with them. Try to find out what's up with this feud and how they feel about it. And then we'll wing it. But depending on how
Question mark.
That's
it.
That's the plan.
The plan is like the first 5 minutes, there's a giant 30-minute gap with a big question mark over it, and then the last 5 minutes of the plan.
The part everybody leans forward to pay attention to the plan. He says, then we just wing it.
We'll figure out what it'll take for them to, find peace with the feud. And if perhaps killing Chief Ogolai is part of it, we will offer our friend Kapunik here to be the new leader of the Dunulakaga of Wormdom Crag.
That is fair, I suppose, but...
And then, when they accept, we'll go back and kill Chief Ogolai.
So, just assassinate all the leaders. Massive destability in the region.
No, I didn't say. We gotta see who is the most reasonable of these two. Chief Ogolai has told us to kill Akanathi, or the Chief of Akanathi. We'll see what the Chief of Akanathi says. We'll see who's most reasonable. Like I said, we've got our friend Kapunik here to offer as the new chief once we assassinate Chief Ogolai.
The only problem I see with that plan, my boy, is that our dear friend Kapunik seems rather good-hearted. I don't know that inheriting the throne through regicide will exactly enamor him to us, thereby gaining their aid.
He said we should go the diplomatic route. This is diplomatic. We talk to the Akanathi and figure out what it takes for them. And yes, if assassination is part of it.
I like the first part of your plan. Why would we talk to them?
Look, there's a lot of winging in between, okay?
I'll be honest. There's a healthy amount of flexibility for anything.
This is why I suggest Kapunik come with us. We need him as our backup card. in case he needs to become the leader. And as long as everyone agrees, aside from the Chief Ogolai,
An alternate plan that is partially yours, but with an extra twist, an extra narrative twist, my boy.
I'm listening.
We've had solid success in the past with your ability to impersonate others, to put it simply. What if we were to arrive at this sky tribe with the chieftain of the other tribe, the Akhenathi, and the Akhenathi chieftain was, what's the word I'm looking for? Begging for peace, was prostrating herself before the Sky Chieftain, was perhaps even in front of the Sky Chieftain, handing over the chieftain title to our friend Kapunik. Simply for the benefit of the Sky Tribe, of course. In reality, there would be no real change, but convincing the Sky Tribe that they have won this feud of theirs.
I thought about that already, but when I asked Chief Ogolai what her opinion was of stepping down, she didn't seem too eager, and I don't think it would be a believable story if we went to the Akhenathi as the Chief Ogolai giving up on the feud, seeing as how strongly opposed she was to it when I asked her. I've also considered pretending to be the Chief Akhenathi and killing the real Chief Akhenathi and leading the people.
God.
The old doppelganger maneuver.
But when I tell you that this plan I presented was the best of the ones I come up with,
What was the one where we're winging 75% of it?
He's already seen all possibilities.
Yeah, that's right.
There's only one.
like Doctor Strange,
That's
who was
right.
exploring the different possibilities, and this is the one.
I feel
Wing
like I
it.
missed something really important in the first 20 minutes of this game.
You really have it, which is... Well, if we think we can convince her without the use of subterfuge, then so be it.
Wait,
We'll see
do we know what the cause of the damn feud is?
There was
It
a story about a sports
child
game.
getting scratched by a griffin
Uh-huh.
or something like that.
And why the frick does that cause a stinking feud?
It sounds to me like the only reason it causes a feud is because the two chieftains are both so hard-headed and obstinate that they cannot allow the other to win.
I think it's a blame game sort of thing. Generations.
Yes.
Who pissed off the griffin?
Actually, that's true. Was it prior generation to the current chieftains? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it was when they were supposedly kids.
Uh-uh.
Because I remember when Eric was telling us the
Oh, that's right.
story,
He
like
was-
she made
That's right.
like an involuntary gesture to an arm or something.
That's right. That's right.
So she's the one who got scratched.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So really, she's just upset that she got scratched by the other person's cat.
That's yeah.
got scratched.
The chieftain.
The chieftain.
Ogolai?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
she's upset she got scratched by a cat, and
It's a griffin, but the metaphor stands.
yeah, she stepped on the cat's tail and got a scratch, and now she's upset because the other person didn't say sorry.
Well, do any of us know a memory altering spell?
I could just
Do we?
remove their heads.
This
They
will
won't
alter
remember
their
anything.
memory. They won't remember a thing.
Then they don't remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
And do we know like how the Akhenathi chief is involved? Like, was it his griffin or?
You have not heard from them yet on their side.
Yeah.
I say we go talk to them first, figure out what's going on. Then we break
part
the
of my
fourth
plan.
wall and figure it out, and then we find out what's the plan.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
You can-
That's pretty much what.
Yeah, you can hear Kapunik yell, and he says, "You're approaching the mountain site of the Akhenathi. Perhaps I can find a place out of the way to set, where we can set down, unless you have a different idea."
Can Frey like Georgia the Jungle off the front of the boat and just like announce our arrival? Oh,
As I mentioned, they are griffin tamers and riders. If we get too close, they will, from the air, they will see this as a immediate threat. And it is no doubt that they will fall to you, but that would not be a good start for diplomacy.
I don't know. That kind of speeds up the process. We go to the chief. We already kicked 10 of your people's asses. Let's talk.
Normally, I would agree with you, but I don't know if these particular folk are so easily cowed. They seem a fairly stubborn bunch.
That's supposedly what his people were, too. Frey is very disappointed in Kapunik and his people at this point. Like, she thought
the wrestling match really soured her.
It did. She thought that they would be, like, more intimidating, and after meeting him, like, it's a freaking giant, and she's a tiny, tiny halfling. Like, she is wholly disheartened by him and his people. And
they're actually just a bunch of kind jocks.
Right.
They're not even jocks, they're wannabes. So she's just kind of over them, and she's kind of hoping secretly that these people are going to be a lot cooler.
It might be.
What Frey considers cooler.
Yeah.
We also need to figure out how to prove that this feud is over, so that way they can upgrade Frey's axe. And then we can enact an assassination.
You're not using my axe to make an assassination.
What?
No using my axe.
If we can convince him that the feud's over, we don't need to assassinate anyone. Then it's just over.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out.
Unless both sides are equally tricked, and my assumption here, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong here, my assumption is that even if we were to negotiate a truce through some deceitful method, the two tribes will still never actually talk to each other, thereby figuring out that they've been duped. How often do your two tribes currently speak to each other?
Both clans have tried to come together before, over the years, but both our chieftains refuse to bow to the other and admit any fault or wrongdoing, and that has created the ongoing feud. But once our clans met for great games of strength and prowess, and I believe we could start that tradition again as a way of bringing us together, but we need both clans to agree to meet.
All right. We'll go to the Valravn plan. I'll pretend to be Chief Ogolai, talk to Akhenaten Chief. Bowing down, I will learn Akhenaten and go back to Chief Ogolai and pretend to bow down, and everyone will be happy.
Until the two of them meet in person at these stupid games.
I've seen such political maneuvers work before, my dear. If both sides were told that such prostrations could only be done in private, and that in public they would have to put on the airs of obstinate, respectful regality, then such a ruse might work.
What have we got to lose?
Alright, when this doesn't work, though, I get to look you square in the face and tell you I told you so.
Let's be fair, Frey. You'll be looking down the end of your axe at one of these goliaths at that moment, so I won't have to worry about it.
So Kapunik again suggests trying to land decently far away from where he thinks the site is from the air, just so it doesn't upset it. You don't run into any of them or start anything you don't want to start.
No, we land close.
Just land where you think is safe. We'll tell Frey it's close.
Did I hear that?
Didn't say it to you.
He nods worriedly.
Can I roll a perception and see if I heard that?
Sure. You definitely heard that.
I said land close.
It says, "We will," and then he just winks real hard. Of course, we're landing close.
You guys, Kapunuk kind of whispers about where he thinks the shelter is, and then says out loud where he thinks the shelter is. And then you all kind of put the thing down, and it's really kind of bad weather in this area too. It's very, you're very high up. You're over 10,000 feet up, so the air is thinner, and it's even colder than before, if you could believe that, based on all the journeys you've made already in the freezing cold. But these folks are used to having to come down the mountain, so there's actually pathways that are kind of built into this whole mountain area, and you can easily find kind of a pathway and be able to ascend from there. And as you all land the ship, leave, and start ascending up this pathway. And as you climb up there, you can begin hearing cries and shrieks of these griffins that Kapunuk has identified from all around you. And he just whispers the fact that they have keen eyes. They will know we are coming.
So we're doing the disguise plan?
Try it.
What?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Edmund kind of manipulates his hands, and his clothes starts transforming, and part of his appearance transforms, and he looks just like Chief Ogulai riding on a saber-tooth tiger.
Right. Forgot about that.
Frey will literally yell out into the wind. We've come here to talk, not to kill you. But I will if you attack me.
We are, in fact, emissaries of peace.
You try to look around, and you don't ever actually see. You just hear these sounds, and it is very hard to see. The visibility is very bad. But you try to even see any other creature, but they're not even in visible range. But you definitely do hear these sounds.
I mean, I guess we just keep going then.
Okay. Yep, you can keep going, and by the time you reach the entrance to the Goliath Caves, there's at least now half a dozen griffins, no riders though, just griffins, circling above you, shrieking at your approach. They descend until they're maybe about 100 feet away, but they come no closer. At the end of the entranceway is a 10-foot tall barricade made of wood and stone, set with a crude gate made of thick lumber and festooned with metal blades. Gaps in the gate allow you to see an unusually tall figure in hide armor standing 10 feet behind it and clutching a great axe. A crag cat near his feet sits up sharply and begins growling. Beyond the barricade is a higher ledge with 5 equally towering figures standing atop it.
Now we're talking.
These guys look cool. So the gate's currently closed?
Yes.
Yeah, Frail.
Sorry, where do we see the standing figures then?
You should be able to see kind of gaps in the gate, so you can still kind of see through it. And you can see... I assume you can see.
Yeah, I can see some stuff.
Okay, that's appropriate. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge 10-foot tall barricade here, but you can see gaps through it, and that's where people are kind of looking through. And the person at the front, Kapunuk, then whispers and says, That's Chief Arn Rockfist, the chieftain. Already at the entrance.
Frey's not afraid. She'll look up.
You hear a voice ring out. Turn back, travelers. You are not welcome here.
Perhaps we are not, but we are simply emissaries of peace, good chieftain.
Was that in
Do you
common or
not
in giant?
recognize me? Take a look.
Common.
Okay.
Take a look closer and reconsider your words. And the Edmund on the saber-tooth tiger will take like a few steps closer.
Okay. Roll a deception check as you try to mimic the voice and mannerisms of the chieftain.
I am disguised, regular or
That allows you to do it in the first place.
But doesn't disguising give you some sort of bonus? I thought it did something. Maybe not.
Let's
allowing
see.
you to roll deception.
See, 1 foot shorter or taller. You know, the bad thing is the Goliaths are significantly taller than you, so you're really gonna have to make this work.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. They're not like giant size, but they're taller than the average human is, and you are shorter than the average human.
Look, old age has shriveled me up.
There you go.
Yeah, they get to the main.
Well, there goes this plan.
You hear a sneering voice from behind and says, he kind of glances back and says, "Watch out, everyone, I sense they have some magics, spells. Be on your guard. If I should say or do anything strange, strike them down. As for you,
The
chieftain..."
giant Frey wants to comment on that.
Okay.
Since nobody else knows giant. She'll just comment up, "I can tell you when they try some shit."
That's what you say to the chief.
Yeah.
He switches to giant and says, "Who are you to speak to me in
I'm
this, in the old one's tongue?"
"I'm Frey. Who are you?"
"Chieftain of this great tribe, Arn Rockfist."
"Ah, you're the one we came to talk to."
"Why have you come?"
"Apparently, you and them need to squash some kind of beef. I don't understand. It happened because of somebody got a scratch from a freaking griffin. It is the stupidest shit I've ever heard."
"You come on behalf of those weaklings?"
Don't remind me that they're weak. Are you kidding me? I took out 3 of them.
For a minute, Frey, you see his stony face crack the slightest smile, and then he regains his composure. "Indeed."
With that, she'll put her axe in front too, because I'm sure he knows that axe.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet that he knows the
He
axe.
cocks an eyebrow at that. "Fine. Goliath-made weapon you have earned through blood, presume."
So much blood. Would you like to hear the tale?
He kind of looks back and says, "Who are they that would mock the Goliaths?" "You
Thought they were being clever."
bring some from the weak clan." And he gestures to Kapunuk back there, who's trying to look very, puffed out chest and everything.
Don't mind him. I've got him under control. Tell you what. I will tell you the story of all the bloodshed that I have done with this axe. And I can tell you, there is a lot of bloodshed. Y'all just see Frey laughing and going like this. And you tell us your side of this crazy cockamamie situation we are in between the 2 of your tribes. And we figure some shit out. No need for that. But we'll let him pretend like he's doing a good job.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
I am not good at persuasion. 19!
He pauses for a moment and looks back and says, "Very well.
We should probably switch back to common, though, because none of them understand the shit that we're saying.
I'll tell you our story of our feud. What really happened.
Cool. Can we come inside?
Tell me, is that creature real, or did that one tame such a beast?
What do you think?
Are you talking about the saber-tooth tiger?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You notice he's got a giant cat with him as well, and he kind of absent-mindedly like puts his hand and pets it. His face never changing from a very like stony, powerful face.
Are we in common now?
He's been Goliath because he was talking to Frey directly still. Or sorry, the giant language.
Edmund's gonna drop his disguise. He's like, you got me. Saber-tooth tiger's not real either, but he hurts a lot if he gets his jaws on you. Or no, that's the corny line. The saber-tooth tiger's not real, but the pain is. Yeah, that's cooler.
Yeah, it says all of that. Like, hello,
just a nervous babbling kind of. He says, "There will be no magics in here. Will be no brandishing of weapons in here. There will be no violence in here, or we will toss you off of this causeway." Is that...
My axe doesn't count, right? Because it's cool. Come on, that's cool.
You are undoubtedly the leader of this group, yes.
Oh.
And this responsibility falls to you, as my people's falls to me.
Ah, shit. She literally says shit in giant.
We will speak.
Cool. Hang on 1 second. Frey will walk back to you, Valravin, and be like, if y'all pull some shit, he's gonna throw you off the mountain.
All right. What kind of shit is he afraid of exactly?
What Edmund just did.
Okay. Why aren't we already off the mountain?
He said if you do any magic, he throws you off the mountain. He's smarter than he looks.
All right.
He likes my axe, though. There is a fly flying around your head.
There sure is. Yeah, it's a big old thing. He likes the lights back here.
But he said that we could come in and they would tell us what's going on.
Yep, he does invite you all in. Surprisingly. Frey, you can have a point of inspiration. You already have one.
I did have one, but yay. Okay.
Well, I suppose we're firmly in the winging it part of the plan now, eh?
So long as y'all don't pull some shit, we're going to be fine. Oh, Kapunak, he said you could come too.
This is going very well. I didn't know you could speak the old tongue. Not many can.
Oh shit, I forgot he could speak giant.
Even he admits that he only knows a few words here and there.
What can I say? I am a halfling of many talents.
See. Yeah, he invites you all in, and you notice it is not the warm welcoming that you got from before. It is everybody looking at you suspiciously. They've got the classic, almost like hands on their holster, pistols kind of a thing, as they lead you in to the front, and he gestures with his cat going the same way, kind of to this campfire straight ahead in the back. And you see there's just griffin nests everywhere.
Anyone who looks at us sideways, Frey will legitimately snarl at them.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them don't know what to make of you, but they do recognize your axe and just your general demeanor, and they seem to just kind of straighten up at that.
The one time Frey being tiny and having like a big person complex is going to come in handy. For the first time ever. She's got that little dog complex where little dogs think that they're big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 100% going to finally pay off.
Just gonna teleport you guys in here for a second. All right, so you all can sit around the campfire for a moment, and he never really changes his still very serious demeanor. He says, "Many summers ago, the children of Skytower challenged the children of Wormdoom to a game of goat ball. One of the children of Wormdoom, angered at being knocked off her perch, threw the ball at one of our griffins and struck it in the head. It wounded her in return. The game was called off. Days later, hunters from Wormdoom climbed our mountain and slew the griffin in its nest. Grave insult. We have been at Cold War ever since."
What did y'all do in retaliation?
We cooler heads have prevailed.
Uh-huh.
And we have not struck back in force. Neither have they. But neither have we interacted.
They did not tell us that they killed a griffin of yours.
Did they? Did they not? I feel like they said something about
They
that.
did
Like,
not.
okay.
They just said they got scratched by the griffin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That they just got close, and that the griffin just attacked out of closeness.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm siding with you guys now. Tell us what you want us to do to the Tukanuga's clan. We'll do it.
Don't forget Kapunik is here too.
Yeah. Yeah, Kapunik looks anxiously like he wants to say something, but he obviously defers to how it's been going so far.
All right. Well, if Valrava can do something here, he can sort of very quietly in the back point his finger, which I guess they did say no magic, but they can't tell him doing magic. Point his finger at Kapunik and message him. Say, is this not an accurate story, my boy?
It still requires, it looks like it's verbal and somatics. You're having to like say words and move your hands and things.
I guess that's...
I mean, you can do it if you want, but I'm going to make you roll like sleight of hand or something to try to literally do it in secret.
Well, let me see how my sleight of hand is. I mean, it's not great. All right. Well, I mean, I suppose I could just take him aside. I mean, we're kind of in a pretty open space here.
Yeah. How do I talk to somebody without magic? How do people do that?
No, people. How do you talk to someone without casting a spell? It's unclear to me. Yeah. So while they're talking, while Frey's talking to the chieftain, Baravan will pull Kapunik back a little bit and say, "Is this not an accurate story, my boy?"
He says, I've never heard this part of it, to be honest, but I suppose it is possible. It might make sense why Yakanathi are so upset. And I'm not sure if that was sanctioned by our people or not, either. It all happened so long ago. This would have been before my time.
Of course, yes.
I mean, I believe it.
You hear...
Well, you're supposed to rejoin the conversation.
Yeah.
Why is the chief so upset about being scratched? I mean, she's alive. I believe that the Akhenaten are upset because they had a griffin killed. It all makes sense, especially when you look at the personality of Chief Ogolai. She could get a griffin killed.
The chief says, you all seem quite experienced, hardy. There is...
Is that a question?
No, he seems like hesitant, and he's like, we are strangers to you, and you to us. But perhaps there is something you could do for us.
before we get to that point, I have some questions.
I want to explore the dialogue tree.
Why should we believe your version over the one that we were already told? What makes your version so much more the truth than theirs?
Also, did I miss that? Did his version even include a sports game at all?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay, okay.
But the other team,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the other team, the Aganathi, were mad that I guess they were losing, or someone was being a poor sport and threw a ball and hit the griffin in the face. The griffin retaliated by scratching, and then the Aganathi came back and axed the griffin during the overnight hours.
Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second question. You can answer them in order. How do you know it was the Aganathi who killed the griffin? I'm assuming y'all found something that said it was them. I'm assuming they did not leave a note saying, "Love Aganathi." And third, finish your statement from earlier. What were you wanting?
Says it, of course it was them, as no one else knows we're here. No one else can get up here.
We did.
Yes, because you got it from them.
And yet we still made it up here.
And it was the same griffin slain in its nest.
Huh? So you have no physical proof that it was somebody from the Aganathi who did it, you're just making an assumption.
He growls but kind of huffs at that and doesn't respond.
You can be pissed off all you want. But again, I'm not killing anybody without having a full understanding of who I'm killing here.
Is it possible that both chieftains technically believe the stories that they've been telling us? After all, the other chieftain would be just a child during the events of the story. Perhaps she was unaware of the adults of her tribe murdering this griffin.
Yeah, as you recall, this has happened some time ago to where the adults kind of inherited this feud.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps this is simply a matter of children paying for the sins of their fathers, as it were.
Godless, she has yet to accept any blame or responsibility for these acts.
And what blame would she have to accept? Should it have been her parents that murdered your griffin? Without her knowledge, it appears to us anyway. How would she be able to accept responsibility for acts she was unaware of?
It was her people, and she is leader of her people. As I have said, I speak for mine, she speaks for hers.
So if the people who actually enacted this act on the griffin were put to justice, that would appease your animosities? Because they're already dead, I suspect.
That could work, but as you suspect, this was long enough ago. You can see him trying to work around in his head.
So if these people are dead, what will it take then to make this shit go away?
I cannot be the one to make the first move. It will look as weakness. Especially with the hatred that has been brewing from my people.
I say you settle it with a game of goat ball.
I was just about to say that. Like, neutral turf. We know a place. It's got those eggs on the sides that it exploded with things inside of them. Neutral turf. There might be a bullet down there. We don't know.
Is that what they suggested?
Yes, we saw them practicing. Have you
just this game?
Huh?
You would have us do something that they profess themselves masters of, would... And yet...
Have you all not been practicing goat ball yourselves?
We are griffin tamers and razors.
Frail
Readers,
switch
you mean readers.
Readers, thank you.
Frail say this in giant just because, she
Time
doesn't
for
want to embarrass
games.
him in front of everybody. She's like, if you're afraid, you could just say you are afraid. But
Chief Arn
from what
Rockfist fears no balls of goat.
then accept.
They have openly challenged us to
I
these
tell you what.
games.
No. But this is how this shit ends. Both sides compete in the games. The winner makes the first move to shake the other's hand. And then the shit ends. The people who started this shit, they're dead. They're long dead. Do you want your people to continue to suffer?
And will you all be participating in these games?
Oh, hell yeah. We have a dude who loves goats.
Don't tell him how we make goat ball.
Oh no.
The ball's not a goat?
Oh, it was a goat. It was several goats. They're not very efficient when it comes to manufacturing goat balls.
Perhaps we'll keep that secret between you and me then. And maybe Kapunik, because apparently he understands every other, seventh word.
Mm-hmm. Kapunik's just ecstatic that you've got him talking and not killing, so he hasn't jumped in.
So we will go back. You will meet on Even Tough, not the one side or the other. Even Tough. There's a place. There's some egg things. They got some gross stuff inside of them. Don't worry about that.
Neutral ground would be acceptable for meeting.
You play the game. The team that wins shakes the other team's hand and this shit ends. Otherwise...
He seems to accept that, and he says, we do have one pressing concern.
What?
Perhaps you can aid us in this. Especially since I've had to send several of my best warriors, who would be the ones chosen for this tournament.
Uh-huh.
The spines of the world, which, refers to this mountain range, are home to many powerful creatures.
Oh, shit.
Recently, a dragon has created a lair not far from here.
Oh, God damn it. It's not a white dragon, is it?
Those are usually the ones up here.
Oh, God damn it. Does it have a skeleton on its back?
Pauses, and then he laughs and he says, I believe I know the one of you speak of, and know that great one ranges far to the north. But we have smaller ones that lair here in the mountains, and this one has been hunting our griffins. We sent a force of our warriors to root it out, but that was days ago, and they should have returned by now. Would you be willing to search for them, for their bodies, finish the job if they failed?
What exactly is finish the job?
Slay this dragon.
Oh, shit, yeah. Hang on 1 second. She'll flip back to Common and be like, we gotta go kill a dragon.
Is that the price for this peace accord we are working on?
They're gonna play the goat ball, but before we can do that, we have to go kill the dragon. They need our help with the dragon issue. Apparently it's killing their flying cats.
If that is the requirement, then I see no reason for us to decline.
No reason, huh?
Well, besides the mortal danger, of course.
Oh, he also says, "Don't worry, it's not the one with the skeleton on its back. So it's not
yes,
your
that
girlfriend."
was going to be my second question.
Yeah.
That was my first question.
If so, I might have just stayed here while you all went and dealt with it. I'm afraid I would only have been a liability in that situation.
Actually, you would have been a great distraction.
That is true.
That fucker still has a piece of my exploding candle on its back.
That'd be a great callback. Yeah, he does mention that this beast, from what we can tell, is big enough that we sent adults after it and not children, but not so big that we have to move the entire clan.
Would you send children after smaller dragons? Is that a common practice?
Our children are quite powerful and live and die by the sword.
In my tribe, the children were just expendable.
We got too many kids. Send another lot of them after a dragon. Give them a little swords. Give them some kitchen knives. Go fight a dragon, kids.
It's the end of Thor at this point. Everyone's got like a little
That's right.
stuffed bunny and
Says we believe, based on its hunting patterns, it lies somewhere to the mountains to the west, then about 5 miles.
And it hunts your griffins in the skies, yes? Or in their nests?
It has not come close enough to our camp, and we keep it hidden for that reason. But yes, it has been hunting from the airs. When we journey outward to scavenge and hunt, we see it. We're careful not to bring it back here.
I don't suppose your griffin riders are accustomed or trained at carrying passengers, are they?
He chuckles at the suggestion and says, "You have gained my grudging respect so far, but we are not going to lend you our griffins."
I wasn't suggesting that, my boy. I would never ride a griffin myself in my life. I was suggesting more than, me with my arms around the waist of a griffin rider in the sky sort of situation.
Very undignified looking.
Very undignified.
Eyes shut, screaming the whole time. I assure you.
I would never take the reins.
in the wind.
It would just be, I would be gripping the griffin rider himself.
Yeah.
Tightly.
He says, They took most of our finest griffins out there, and we do not want to lose any more. I trust you have some methods. You've made it up here.
I guess when I suggested that, I guess I did technically forget that we have a spaceship.
Which is good, because he doesn't know either.
He doesn't know that.
He probably thought it's suspicious. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's hunting a dragon on a spaceship sounds like a fantastic short story section of the novel. So yes.
We could tell the little alien dude that he can do his little brain things on a dragon.
Yeah, I wonder if he's ever eaten dragon brains before.
Dragon
Yeah.
brain.
If we're successful, when we're successful, because I don't lose,
That's positive thinking.
we're going to come back. And we're going to be back on something that's going to look really freaking weird. Just tell your people not to attack it, okay? That's all I ask, because I am not walking up this goddamn mountain again.
I'm not sure of what you mean.
You'll see.
We are beings of great strength, dear chieftain, and we have subdued and taken control of a creature that may seem otherworldly and terrifying to yourselves. but it is, in fact, harmless.
I see I have perhaps underestimated you.
Don't feel bad. You tall ones all do that same shit.
Emissaries of peace must carry big sticks, as they say.
That we can agree on. So take your big stick and find my people and slay this beast.
Can I pet your cat before we leave?
Roll animal handling. Even though it's not an animal, but I think they're technically monstrosities. Oh, do. That's a hilarious
cat
like a
comes
throwaway.
to me. The cat comes to me.
Just purring.
Just motions.
Yeah.
This further pisses off the chieftain.
He's very surprised. No, he's not pissed off. He's just very surprised. He's like, this is why I let you inside, see?
When I come back, I'll tell you the story of the blood.
I'm going to say, when I come back, I'm taking your cat.
This is my cat now.
I'm coming back with this cat.
Then we'll discuss who owns the cat afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull one of those movie animal rights scenes where like each of you are at one side of a park and each have a treat. You're like, come here.
Oh, yeah.
I think they did that on an episode of Judge Judy once, too.
Did they?
Literally
Yeah.
see which one
I think that's the end of Air Bud, if I'm remembering correctly.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, because Airbud belonged to that weird, creepy clown guy.
That's right. Yeah, they like each call to him.
Airbud reference, all right.
Yep.
That's where we're at tonight, folks.
Yeah.
All right, you all are given his blessing to go after this dragon hunt.
We should. We should, before we go hunt the dragon,
Starship.
we should get on the ship, and we should do a little pass over the village, just so they know what it looks like.
Oh, there you go. You just like mentioned it, and he was like incredulous, and then you like fly by. Yeah.
And maybe if we get close enough, maybe I can even use my magic to like message him down there and like. I don't know.
You really just want to show off.
Show off. This is our power, chieftain. We will slay your dragon.
Aren't you glad you didn't throw me off the mountain?
I can make this thing rain down death anytime I want.
Don't
You, Squid Man, rain down death right there. Yeah, you could do a very fancy flyby, and it's hard for you to, yeah, it's hard for you to see anything, but yeah, they spill their coffee when they're drinking it in the tower and everything. It's all very dramatic.
Yeah.
Ray's sitting on the edge and just waving.
Yep. You guys can fly the Nautiloid. Unfortunately, you don't have specific directions this time. It's just kind of a general area to the west, which you presume is this kind of mountainy area over here.
Can we send Kapuna, instead of bringing him with us to this piece of it, just send him back to his tribe and tell them to prepare for the games?
Yeah, you can. Make him take the long fucking way, or do you want to fly him up there?
I mean,
Down the mountain. You up here, but
I mean, he will if you want him to. Like, he knows the path and stuff, but I mean, he doesn't. I guess they don't really interact with much, but he would. He does know the location, and he would know where his people are. But
can the chieftain tell one of their people to give him a ride down the mountain?
I think with yeah.
If you want to hear the story of the blood, give him a ride.
Yeah. I think based on the conversation you had and everything, that he will agree to at least basically drop him off halfway.
It's not gonna kill you, my friend.
Yeah, he can do that. And Kapunuk is ecstatic about this. He seems like this is excellent. It's just, you can't say good enough things about what Frey did. You can't keep the excitement from his voice with not having to rush in and kill everybody, and instead being able to set this up. So he's excited about telling his people about this.
Should we should we have him deliver a message like meet on this date at this location? And I will also say the same to this chieftain as well. It's like, everyone has fair warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. where the neutral location is, what time we're gonna do it.
Right.
It will be children who are playing the game, not adults, because adults are gonna pull some shit.
Right. We come up with all the rules, and we tell Kapunik to deliver the rules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
The top of the paper says, "This is how this shit will end."
Right.
Yeah.
And when you're telling the story, perhaps phrase it in such a way that this chieftain was perhaps more agreeable than they actually were.
Yeah, he says, I will say as best I can while I will be careful about the way I word these things. But yes, I mentioned the fact that they have accepted the bid for the games that we have proposed and are willing to meet and mediate this feud through the games.
Excellent.
Perhaps we're bringing back a dragon head, and that can be somebody's trophy.
Mm-hmm.
And then every year when you guys have the games, you just pass the dragon head. We'll call it the dragon head goat ball.
Yeah.
I can write a speech about laying down old rivalries and establishing new ones based around a sports game. Surely they will respond positively to that.
When you guys are...
That's what the losers have to listen to.
So yeah, you drop off Kapunuk and you guys fly west into the mountains. However, once you start getting close enough, you start getting some really awful turbulence and horrible blizzard conditions to where the Ceramorph looks back and says, "Why I don't like flying over these mountain ranges. It's terrible. I don't think I'm gonna get very close up here. This thing is already not at 100%, remember? I mean, I can get you as close as I can, but I can't sit here and just go all around this whole mountain range looking for this great dragon. And frankly, we don't like messing with those creatures. Anything that flies that's big is a threat."
That's why you have us, my boy.
Yeah.
We are a threat to the dragon. And we require your flying to eliminate the one advantage the dragon has over us. That it flies.
Your ship is not making it through that storm, I'll tell you that. We will crash.
Do we even want to go into a storm? Like, even outside of the
yeah, that's what he's suggesting.
station?
I mean, he's saying he can drop you off, like, still, like, on the mountain, but not, like, he can't be flying around it. I can pick a spot and sit down, but you're gonna have to search on your own. And the whole time it's very dramatic, like, there's not alarms blaring, but it's lurching, and the whole time there's like turbulence jerking you around, and you can see there's just wind whipping and skies dark, ice just pelting sideways.
All right, well, perhaps
Probably a good call.
Perhaps we can set down right outside of this storm, and if we manage to catch sight of the dragon, perhaps there's some way we can lure it out to the edge. Ooh, there's some storm.
I was like, I need some storm to back up my.
Yeah.
I thought that was beach sounds for half a second.
I have a more powerful wind one. I could do that one.
Yeah, what you're describing is probably a more powerful wind.
Here, let me do this. Here's luck of the draw, guys. He's gonna pull out 2 more of his bagger trip balls, and he's gonna throw them both, and out comes a fox and another fox.
It's the first time the dragon's kind of put you down.
Yeah.
A pair of foxes.
Fox 1 and Fox 2. Would you like to shake hands with Fox 1 and Fox 2? Yeah.
So I don't know if the 5 of us can ride on a saber-tooth tiger and 2 foxes.
Somebody gets the foxes. I've already got the tiger, guys, so you got the 5.
The 4 of you have to share the 2 foxes.
Ray and Thimbleweed are pretty small, so they could do it.
These are regular sized foxes. Keep in mind.
Foxes are actually probably the best thing we could have gotten, because they'll have the ability to use their senses to smell out the dragon.
Yeah, for you, these are hunting foxes.
Hunting foxes.
Yep. So, I mean, they would have, like, really good, keen senses to be able to find the dragon.
And then somehow Celeste, Valrobin, and Edmund, I guess, have to ride on the saber-tooth tiger.
That's a lot. The thing can hold probably one person, and yes, I know Frey and Thimbleweed are small. I don't need to be reminded of this.
Wait, doesn't Thimbleweed already fly?
I think that has to cost you something. Or
Hover.
do you just always get to hover?
I can hover 3 times the long rest.
There you go.
With the hover speed of, I don't know, 30, 10. I also have a climbing and swimming speed now. It's all over the place.
I can get anywhere.
I can climb faster than I can run.
So he sets the nautiloid down violently, like it almost crashes to the ground, and he kind of shouts. And if you guys want, you can do the whole Psy Crystal thing again and keep him there. But even he's like, "Please do not leave me here long. This is not a safe place."
Very well, but should we come running back to the ship, be prepared to take off at a moment's notice. We might have a dragon behind us.
If you've got the crystal, it takes me a second to put the crystal in and get things started.
Well, that's fair enough. Would you prefer we take you into this storm with us?
No, that's fine. Stay here and... Will you please bring me back some more brains, though, at least?
Well, we might bring you back the brains of a dragon.
That's fine.
Wait, so let me get straight. You won't let us ride a fox?
I won't.
Foxes are like this big.
Do you literally not know how big a fucking fox is?
Never seen one.
Google, you've never seen a fox.
They're the size of a large cat.
Yes, they're the size of a large cat. They're not even dog-sized. Foxes are small. No, you don't get to ride a fox. Yeah. You are probably thinking of a wolf. And even then, I mean, maybe Frey or Thimbleweed could ride a wolf.
All right. In that case, I'm going to command my 2 foxes to look for the dragon, like sense it out, and that way it can at least tell us the quickest path to the dragon. How about that?
You can certainly try. They look like they are completely perturbed in this weather.
They are not real foxes.
They're also not real foxes. But they attempt to do your bidding and search around. What I'm gonna need is a survival check from Thimbleweed as you start, or not. I assumed Thimbleweed, but as you are out, basically exposed to these elements, trying to find the signs of this dragon or signs of the Goliath hunting party as well.
I suppose they won.
Yeah, thankfully, Thimbleweed is very good at survival.
Survivor.
All right, so he takes an efficient path. So you guys kind of take the path of least resistance to be buffeted by all these storms and horrible blizzard conditions. My blizzard go. Never stop.
Or I take them on a path only I can survive.
That's right.
You watch the rest of us freeze.
And after about an hour of this horrendous exploration on the mountain, you find some claw marks kind of on a cliff large enough to be a dragon's, and you end up following what you think is a trail that kind of might lead in that general direction. Give me another survival check, please. That's not quite as good.
Not quite.
Unless Evan's like, are you sure it's not that way? How about an 18?
That would be better, yes. With Edmund's help of a flash of genius, Thimbleweed does find the best route to take. So again, none of you are too terrible.
You know what? You're right.
It is that way, not that way.
And you end up finding a further set of tracks and claw marks that you can search and find, and then you end up finding an old, battered, makeshift campsite tucked into a small cave. Much of the everything must have been packed away, but there's still a few like loose utensils. There's an obvious sign of a campfire, as well as some griffin feathers. So you can surmise that the Goliaths were here, but you don't see any sign of them other than some tracks that you can then follow. Give me one more survival check.
Tracks leaving again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Back to the 24.
Yeah, back to 24. All right, this time you feel like you're on a pretty good trail. You're winding up a mountain path, and you feel like you are directly maybe following the path that the Goliaths must have taken. You presume that they might have hit the same situation where they had to land and then go on foot, so you can kind of track that a little bit easier.
Edmund, what do your human eyes see?
You're talking to?
Edmund.
Oh.
It's helping
What
me.
do my human eyes see?
Oh, right.
But they're human.
He's the worst eyes of everyone.
Haha.
At one point, a rather gut-wrenching narrow path keeps you all clustered together near the side of a cliff with no cover from the unrelenting wind, and you can feel the gusts begin picking up in intensity. I told that thing to replay. Why is it not playing?
Ah!
There. I'm going to click to the wrong one. Okay. I said unrelenting. Steve, turn up my wind!
But I feel so bad for him.
The gust begins picking up in intensity, and you're not sure if the shrieking you hear is the wind or something else, as the blizzard just seems to completely envelop you. I want everybody to give me...
This thimbleweed screaming.
Everyone give me a Constitution save, please, at this point.
If this is cold related, does my magical cloak help me in this situation?
If it's specifically... yes, it does.
Okay.
This is a blizzard is affecting your stamina levels.
So do I get
Look at these
advantage?
con saves.
Or just a bonus or
Cold
something?
resistance, I would give you advantage, yeah.
Okay.
Assuming you have literal cold resistance and not something else.
Yeah, it's cold resistance.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll roll for Celeste.
Thank goodness. I pull my cloak as tight as I can around my body.
Mm-hmm.
Celeste does not.
Celeste did not. She's gonna get an exhaustion level. She's gonna like that.
Didn't she just get rid of one?
She just
did.
got rid of
She
one.
did. Just always exhausted. Alright, everybody else is okay. I guess the tiger is exhausted, but I don't think it's making any ability checks anytime soon. However, the shrieking seems to be infiltrating your mind a little bit. I need everybody to give me wisdom saving throws.
All right.
Does my cloak protect me from screaming? Can I pull the cloak over my ears?
Not so much on this one.
Regular.
Is this magic?
Not exact. Wow, nice. This is not exactly magic, although it does seem like it's almost a supernatural effect that's happening. But it is not a literal magic spell.
My gnome cunning wouldn't go off.
What is your? Is it just advantage on that?
Against magic.
No. That is a crit for the cauldron, though. 23.
Nice.
Did you give the cauldron a thing whenever I crit for the animal
I
handling?
sure did. I sure did. Let's see. Thimbleweed. Balrobin. Oh, I need to roll Celeste. I should have kept that open. Let's make that one. All right. Those of you that failed the save take 14 psychic damage.
Oh, great.
Those of you that succeeded take half that as psychic damage.
Okay.
And Thimbleweed, I would like you to roll a. Let's see, one. We got 5 people.
Wait, do we still have our temporary hit point thing?
Ah, yeah, you do.
Oh wow, from
everybody's got 15 temp hit points. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
My own
call.
ability.
Oh, my saber-tooth tiger. Does he get temporary hit points?
Well, I was actually going to ask this, and I forgot.
Mm.
Can we assume that we short rested on the flight from Wormdoom Crag to here? Like, we had an hour, right? Or whatever it takes?
I would... Well, the problem is, does that get rid of your saber-tooth tiger? Because I don't know how long they last.
They last till dawn, or dusk, or whatever.
Okay. Then, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. You could easily short rest on the ship.
During that time. Actually, it doesn't really affect this, actually. It affects my Bardic Inspiration, which I used all of.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think, like, what did you guys use? But I guess you did use Bardic Inspirations, yeah.
But we could say that during that 1 hour flight to here, I also did, the inspiring leader speech.
Okay.
And everybody has 15 temp hit points.
All right, so everybody who failed takes 14 psychic damage. Everybody who succeeded on the save takes 7 psychic damage. And then the ones who failed, let's start with Thimbleweed. Roll a 1d5. As the screams seem to penetrate your mind, and you think there is somebody right next to you, and you lash out and stab Celeste with a melee attack. I'm going in alphabetical order. 1 is Celeste.
Oh, Valravn. A melee?
Yep, go ahead and give me a melee attack of, I guess Vigilance is the one you use.
Vigilance!
15 does not hit Celeste, though.
Wow!
And then...
I rolled a 5.
And then, I know. You're always rolling above a 20, and of course the one time I make you hit your own party members. Valravn, same thing for you. You got to spend your time rolling a 1d5 and lashing out with whatever weapon you would be using.
For melee?
Yeah. Thank you, Stan. I'm glad you found that joke. I kept yelling at Stan last night for rolling a d5. 3 is Frey. She's gonna like that.
I probably won't hit her. We'll see.
That's true. Here comes the crit. You attack Frey with whatever your instant knee-jerk reaction would be. 15, I don't think it's Frey.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good try, though.
Yep.
Yeah, we wildly swing into the snow.
And you guys are still in the middle of this thing. You guys got to keep trudging, but if you want to do, have any kind of action or let me know if you want to do anything other than just keep trying to push forward. You can see an end to this. It almost looks like a localized storm just hitting you right here.
Did what just happened to us feel like a charm effect or any kind of effect like that?
A charm effect?
Yeah.
Does not mention charm anywhere.
Okay.
He did say it wasn't really magical earlier, because otherwise...
That's true.
Yeah, it's not really considered a magical effect.
Yeah.
Clearly it's something, it's like a supernatural hazard, but it's not technically classified as magic.
Well, shoot, we got the time, and we're about to fight a dragon, I think. So, Valravn, as we are marching forward, Valravn's just gonna start, like, very loudly, almost to make himself feel better, very loudly writing about the brave heroes who are trudging up the mountain and describing them in turn as they suffer through the wind and the snow and it bites at their faces, but they endure on. And he's going to give all 4 of them a bardic inspiration over the course of however long we're marching.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
You're having to like scream because of the conditions this is in too, which I imagine is hilarious.
Yes.
I want to see like you've got your thing out and just wind is like whipping like the hat and just everything and just the feather is just doing this the whole time.
He's kind of terrified too, so it's very much like he's almost yelling to like make himself feel better too.
Right, yeah, it's a comfort thing.
It's a comfort thing.
I dig
His
it.
shirt is flapping in the breeze.
That's right. All right, you guys continue trudging on. Give me another round of wisdom saves.
Well, I made it once. I'm not going to make it again. Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw. +0. My odds are not good.
Good ones and then bad ones. That's funny. The same people. I think it's funny. And
I mean, I'm probably the best one. Me stabbing out. Well, I guess the psychic damage is a bummer, but me stabbing out at someone's not going to be that big a deal.
That's true. he says as he goes mad and stabs at people.
Stab someone in the neck.
Yeah. All right. Those of you that made the save take half of 16 as psychic damage, and Valrobin
Yikes.
and Thimbleweed get to take a full 16 psychic damage. And
so pretty much everybody's out of the 10 hit points at this point, right?
Yeah,
like
I would
that's that's what we used him for.
All right, Valrobin, roll a 1d5, determine who you're striking out at. As the winds just pierce your mind, and it's just suddenly envelops you, and you just have to fend off some kind of spirit that's flying up in your face.
Okay.
If he attacks me again, can I react next time?
God, I hope so. 2 is Edmund. You're gonna
Edmund!
strike out at Edmund.
Sorry, Edmund!
And thankfully he is pretty inept. Alright, Thimbleweed. You are definitely looking pretty mad. 4 is thine self. You feel like there is some kind of thing on you that is currently like all embracing you, and you have to get it off. So you literally jab at yourself.
Bugs.
Yeah. Bugs everywhere. It's like, what? You always got bugs everywhere.
Isn't that your thing? Yeah.
I think 20 does hit you, so you hit yourself for 9 piercing damage.
Do I attack again?
No, you do not. You do not have to attack again. Once you stab yourself, your feeling comes back.
That hurts.
Yeah. All right, you feel like you are almost out of it. I need one more round of wisdom saves
Come on.
as you
my
trudge
God.
through the edge of this cliff. And think you can try to make it out. There we go. There we go. Absolutely dynamite.
Now, everybody does have bardic inspiration, and if you lose, still it doesn't matter. It doesn't go away. So
I'm debating about using my inspiration.
1d8.
just straight. Yeah, it's 1d8.
He did give out all the bardic inspirations.
It's not gonna help me.
Look at all these
16.
saves, by the way.
I only have a 2, so
2,
it's not gonna
4,
help.
7, 7. 7 was Celeste, by the way, that I rolled.
I got a 7 now.
Oh, was that inspiration?
Yeah. Probably should have saved it, but oh well.
So if anybody wants to roll inspiration, or bardic inspiration, you can. Otherwise, we're...
Your 7. I don't know what the save is. Maybe the 7. You guys, 3 of you rolled 7s. Maybe you can try. I don't.
I'm betting it's at least a 15, so you'd have to have the 8.
I mean, yeah.
Try it. Might as well, like you
possible.
said.
It's possible. If you fail, it
Well-
doesn't go away.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'll do it.
A 10.
Oh, 13.
Close.
I can do it for Celeste.
Okay.
13. Yeah.
Oh, I can roll one of my special die.
Oh, this would be a great time to do that.
No, I'll save it.
All right, all of you failed, but it did get
Does
close.
a 16 fail? That was Thimbleweeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
The
was?
bardic inspiration.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. No, 16 does pass.
Okay. So Thimbleweed has used his bardic inspiration.
6. All right, so Thimbleweed gets to take half of this. The rest of you take a full 15 psychic damage.
Whatever.
I don't want Frey to fucking axe me though.
Oh, I forgot.
I can't remember
yeah.
is that 7 or an 8. Or half.
I think it's writing down for damage.
Yeah, you take 7. I forgot to apply Celeste's temporary hit points earlier, so I'm just going to negate because I think you said it was 15, so you just won't take that one. All right, let's do some D5s. Starting with...
Oh no.
I guess Celeste.
Oh, no, is right.
Celeste gets to do it. Somebody roll for her.
I'll roll for it.
Yeah.
5. That's Valrobin. You know that's Valrobin. He's a V.
But I'll be a 6 then, wouldn't I? There's nobody after me.
There's only 5 of us.
That's why I rolled D5.
It's a D5. Yeah, never mind. That's me.
That is you. All right, I'm going to whack you with a mop.
If you guys down me before we get to the fight, it's gonna be a real bummer.
16?
I believe that hits.
Why is it auto-rolling damage for everybody, by the way? I don't
know. That did, yeah, that's new.
Is that like got reset or something? That's weird. Yeah, this one does say auto-roll. That must have literally gotten... Maybe a patch went through, because we didn't have that before.
Yeah.
If 16 hits, that's 13 bludgeoning damage as she
sure is.
whacks you. Scream. That was max damage.
Yeah.
Yells out and whacks you. Edmund. 5 is also Fall Robin.
What? Hold on.
Edmund.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody kill the bard.
If I die before this fight starts, it's gonna be. You guys are gonna really.
I love that you do the green flame blade. That's greatness.
That does not hit.
15 does not hit. Okay. So Thimble. No, Frey's next. Who does Frey get to absolutely annihilate? 2 is Edmund, the squishiest.
Oh.
24 is gonna hit our poor artificer.
Her sitting auto damage.
Yeah,
I have mine turned off.
You turned yours off.
Well, the rest of us did too. For some reason, it like turned on or something.
Yeah, I had to turn off Celeste. It was on my default. 11 damage to Edmund.
Yikes.
We said Thimbleweed made the save, so then we go to Valravn. Please roll yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Nope.
One is Celeste.
Okay. That hits, I assume.
For 3 damage.
Where's the auto roll damage thing on our character?
You go to the gear, and then it's on the upper right corner-ish.
Oh yeah, auto roll damage. Yep.
Yeah, they must have done something on their end that made that pop up, because we all had that off for a while. Which I'm going to be pissed off if that changed on my sheets, because I always have that off.
Every monster sheet.
Yeah. Alright, you all finally make it through this unrelenting windstorm of madness out the other side. And you reach the near summit of the mountain. And rounding a corner, you see several dead bodies on the ground. And even from a distance, you can probably surmise that these are pretty large humanoids. Currently feasting on them are a trio of monstrous bird-like creatures that you're pretty sure are not griffins. They seem to have the body of a man-sized hawk with the head of a deranged elk. Their mouths are slick with blood.
Ooh. I thought you were going to describe... I don't know what I thought you were... I thought you were going to describe harpies. This is something else entirely.
Mm.
Oh, we're also on a regular map now. It's too zoomed in.
Oh, yeah. Back to 5-foot maps.
That's right. Gosh, going into this fight, Edmund and I are both at half-life. That's
excellent. Great. Mission accomplished.
Fantastic.
They have not noticed you as of yet, but if you do want to approach, it will take a stealth check. But you can also feel free to plan, I suppose.
I suppose.
Whatever it is you people do.
I mean, Freya's not stealthy, so she's gonna just start walking up there unless someone stops her.
Hold up.
Multiple hands come out.
From every side of the frame, hands come out to stop her.
Right.
One specifically goes over her mouth to keep her from talking.
Right, yeah.
I'll take a few steps closer.
Are harpies animals?
These aren't harpies, whatever these are. I thought they were, but they have elk heads, apparently.
Are they animals?
That is an excellent stealth check. So you can roll I think it's nature. Hang on one second.
Is it nature?
Yes, it's a nature check to try and see. You're close enough now where you might be able to.
Nope.
even with an 11, you have heard of a kind of creature that this resembles. It seems to be a part elk, part hawk-like creature called a periton, and they are vicious, monstrous predators that like to fly and They've got wings, gore and kill, and feast in a very bloody manner. And they
have
are
wings, but they don't like to fly.
That's right.
I don't like to walk.
Exactly.
You also think that they're not actually that uncommon in this region. But beyond that, you're not sure how powerful they are or anything else.
Are they animals?
They would not be classified as beasts, you're pretty sure. They are bestial, but they have a cunning intelligence about them, and
they're not natural
they're
beasts
not natural
of the
beasts.
wild.
Exactly, yeah. And I realize D&D is a weird classification about that. There's a lot of beast-like creatures that are not technically beasts, and this is one of them.
It's odd because they describe creatures as just being natural beasts that live in the wild, but like griffins are like natural beasts that live in the wild, but they're not beasts.
Right. It's like magical beasts are a different kind of category, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'd snuck off without telling us what he was doing.
Yeah, with the 26, you can definitely sneak a little bit closer.
I could, if we must fight these creatures, I can start a volley that will muddle their minds and paralyze their muscles. It isn't slow this time. It's something else.
Can I identify what those bodies are?
From here, sure. I'll give you a perception check. It's pretty bloodied and nasty, but you notice there's kind of one on the side that maybe hasn't been as glorified, and it does. And you've just dealt with a lot of goliaths, and this does looks like a goliath body.
Right.
Do you want me to put your foxes on the map as well, Mr. Edmund?
Are they going to join this fight?
Can I get any closer?
Give me one more stealth check to get a bit closer.
An even better stealth.
Just showing up. I mean, the poor man doesn't get to roll stealth often. Let's let him have his fun.
Whose fault is that, DM?
I know. Hey, I give you all a chance. Like, you know what? Let's let them come across it. Yes, you can get quite close with that. Look at this, just coming up there, rogue style.
He's like behind them.
Yeah.
Behind you.
Just crunching on the snow.
Alright, I'll go back to the gang.
You just snuck up within like touching distance just so you could.
Just to prove that I could. Pluck a feather from their back and then come back. So anyway, what are we gonna do?
It's like the horror movie where somebody's like walking through their house and there's somebody like right behind them that doesn't act. They just stand there and
yeah.
And then they're gone.
I stood there for 30 seconds and then
and then you're gone.
I did what I needed to do.
Back into the snow.
I let everyone know about the glorified bodies, and there are 3 that I could see up there.
I assume these are the Goliath riders that the tribe sent to deal with the dragon. Now sadly departed.
Wait, would these be their mounts at all?
Is there any historical evidence of griffins turning into peritons?
Not that you know of. Those seem to be 2 entirely different creatures from your knowledge.
Okay.
Are they griffins?
Where are their griffins? That's a good question.
Yeah, you don't see
Have we
them.
seen any evidence on this whole track of their actual mounts?
Other than the campsite, you haven't. But the tracks you followed did seem like the griffins were with them at most of the time.
Okay.
I could sneak up on them again.
If you start, I just for fun. Suspect we'll have to engage these creatures to pass.
spell scroll a gust of wind, I could try to blow them away.
Yeah, perhaps they would
Good
leave
idea.
if the wind got too harried. Perhaps they would leave without even knowing we were here. It's worth a shot, I suppose.
Do it.
Yeah, might as well. We're ready to fight if we have to.
Yeah.
There you guys are.
He's like disappearing in and out of the snow.
Shadows.
We're never sure where he is.
He's like Scrooge McDuck, but in the snow. He just goes.
So I forget how we use a spell scroll.
Right.
Spell scroll rules. Let's see. Spell scrolls. If it's not on your spell list, you must succeed on a skill check, depending on which class can normally cast the spell. Which is a bunch of them, looks like. Druid, Ranger, Sorcerer, and Wizard. So you could either roll an Arcana or Nature check with the DC equals 10 plus the spell level. And if you succeed, the spell is cast. If you fail, the scroll is consumed, and then you must roll in the Wild Magic Surge table.
So it's second level.
Be a DC 12.
I gotta roll 12.
Of either Arcana or Nature.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So he like, I don't know how I would roleplay a spell scroll. I guess it gives me
And spell
temporary.
scrolls are outside of like our abilities, right? They're like the magic is in the scroll itself.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make this cool, and he's gonna like hold his hands up in a
let's
ring,
make
and
this
he's gonna blow through it, and then this big like gust of wind just comes out.
Nice.
I like it. All right, a line of strong wind, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, blasts from you. Each creature starts from a strength save to be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. All right, so you're going to open up by just blasting them with a shot blast of wind. They all make a strength save, or they're pushed 15 feet away.
You could like roleplay and just they get blown away, and what else to do with them?
Yeah, our intention here is not as an opening volley. Our intention here is like the blizzard is so bad that you creatures have to fly away.
No, I like it.
The indoor blizzard.
It's right.
Yeah. So they're going to get a strength save. What's your DC, by the way? We'll just use your DC for the scroll. Spell save.
16.
Okay. They are pretty strong, it turns out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lord. Only a +3 too. They just rolled really
They just
well.
rolled really well, yeah. So it's still an ongoing effect that you create this vortex tunneling forward. I might have to find an image for that. One of them does get blasted 15 feet away.
I've got baby aggro. I'll be back.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even hear it down here.
Well, you got the thing off.
Oh, I do. Blissfully. At the same time, there are some that descend from the sky as they appear to have clever girled your ass.
Oh, great.
You were also being hunted at the same time.
That was so stealthy.
By the ones you were stealthy, but the rest of your party not so much.
Good luck,
Trying to
guys.
be. We didn't move. We stayed completely still.
And they end up flying down and attempting to strike at you with their talons. So this was basically the surprise round is Edmund getting off a huge gust of wind and then a bunch of peritons coming down and striking at all of you.
But we were okay. We were like on edge, right? Like we weren't surprised. I don't know.
You were definitely not surprised by the three here, but there were three more in the air that come down that do surprise you.
Always look up.
Always look up. Nobody
never
ever looks up. That's why stealth video games always successful. Nobody ever looks up. We're gonna have one attack Thimbleweed.
So do they still make it even though it's difficult terrain for them?
So the wind blast is affecting these 3 right here. These are not the 3 that are attacking.
Well, I figured that to approach us, they might go through the wind.
No, they do not go through the vortex of wind that you've created.
I don't know.
Because you pointed it straight forward to blast these guys. These ones are coming from above you. It's 22 hits.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. Hey.
I'm still stealthing.
Let's see. Threat or target takes deals an extra. Okay. You take 9 plus an extra 16 damage as it dives straight towards you and rakes you with claws.
All right.
Attempts to gore you with the same attack. Unsuccessfully. And then the same flight pattern, it just flies by you and does not incur attacks of opportunity. We're gonna have one attack Celeste.
Oh, man.
With a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
No, why
also...
it has advantage?
It has advantage because of the surprise.
Mm.
Which means it's an extra 4d8, I believe, on this attack. For 25 and 14.
What?
Oops. And then we got one more coming in. Ooh, let's just do a token fate on the other 3. Frey! Oh, actually, it gets one more attack. Let me do the other attack on Celeste. Another 11 piercing damage. Celeste's looking pretty bad, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine that.
And then an attack on Frey. Boy.
Sure.
These things
Why
like
not?
it. For 15. And that one is a miss. And they all come in and do this giant flying, raking attack and then just swarm away. You can still see them visibly, but they just come out of melee range. And I would have you guys roll for initiative at this point, but I think this might actually be a decent stopping point. Because it's getting a little late to try and start combat here.
Yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately, I only just now rolled the MVPC poll, so please vote for MVPC very, very quickly. As I was extremely late on that. These guys. Fortunately, it is hard to do elevation in Roll20 with tokens.
Next week, I'm gonna say something cool like elevate this, shoot him with my arrow.
Nice.
I'd be like whipping on some glasses, going, yeah.
That's right.
Thimble
Yeah, you have a whole week to workshop that race.
We're gonna workshop.
Why would I want to do a second take?
Perfect the first time.
Perfect the way it is. We'll put a 2 there. We might have to do MVPC during the Frostside chat.
How long does it usually last? I thought it only lasts a little while.
Yeah. For some reason it's not.
Plus, I don't suspect it's going to be anybody other than the last 7 votes. So
that is true. Yeah, Frey. Yeah, I think we could probably give it to Frey. I don't know. It is working on my end, but it has done this before where it just does not show up. So I might have to turn it off and turn it back on. But yeah, I think we can count it on.
We just count the votes manually.
I'm pretty sure we can count. You're right. I wasn't even looking at the chat on there. I think we can count Frey. Frey is the great mediator too, between the chat. So I think that's fair to give her.
Speaking the Goliath language.
The MVPC poll, yeah. It sounds like she still has some baby aggro, so maybe we will wait and let her roll at the beginning of next session, I think. Have to help give me a note that she did win the MVPC poll tonight. But then we will jump in with a combat round, which means I believe we pretty much kind of made it 2 sessions without combat.
We did, yeah.
Which is pretty big for me. All right, that's all the time we have for this week's session of Rime with the Frostmaiden. Thank you to Chris, Heather, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to our wonderful fans for watching. Shoutouts to the patrons, Platinum patrons, Joe, Will, Thomas, Adam, Stan, William, I'm Loud, Brandon, Genocider, David Eclectic, Roleplay Roll, Christopher, Dig Dug, DM, Brian, and William. And gold patrons, RPG, Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Marcus, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Humanoid, Size, Sphincters, and Stephanie. Thank you all very much for your support. Live streaming our D&D adventures every week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Sphincter-sized humanoids.
That's the next one. That's the goal we're working up to.
How many of those could you stack inside a humanoid-sized sphincter?
Good lord.
At least, well, like 9 around the circumference, I'd imagine. I mean, you got an inner circle.
Nice.
Yeah.